1, 2, 3, 4. Almost the weekend and you don't know what to do. Or you just need something fun to listen to.
Southside Pod.
Yes, we're on the air.
Pod.
And with gangs all here, all things on the south side. Thanks for tuning in to the Southside Pod.
All right, I got a bad haircut.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I didn't want to be mean, but I walked in, and I'm like, surprised he's not wearing a hat.
It's like she put a bowl on my head. Like, this is somebody who cuts hair for a living in a sport clips. And here's the thing, I've seen this woman for years at the sport clips. Like, I haven't gotten my hair cut from her. I'm not saying that she's been my regular barber or hairdresser. Like, I actually go to a guy who, like, runs his own company in Beverly and broke his collarbone playing 40-year-old hockey.
Yowzers.
Yeah. And he's the fiance to my cousin. I feel terrible for him. When he comes back and he's finally able to get in the business, I'm going to throw him some free advertising on the show because he needs to get his business ramped up again. Yeah. But, like, he's being lazy, too, because it would be nice with the broken collarbone. I mean, I understand he's probably, like, in, like, some sort of...
one of those...
who knows? But, like... Get on a swivel stool so you're up higher and swivel yourself and cut my hair so I don't have to get bad haircuts.
Yeah, because it looks bad. Were you in like one of those like little rocket ship chairs like for the little kid haircuts?
No, I went to a Sport Clips.
Okay.
I used to go to those places all the time, and they're not all bad. I used to go to them all the time. But now you go on, and I was like, okay, well, I got a bunch of things to do today, so I'm going to go into their app, which I still had, even though I haven't been there. I haven't been there in so long that when I went in, they thought I was a new customer. And the way my hair was cut last time I was there had been erased out of their system.
Wow.
So now I have to describe to somebody who doesn't have any notes, somebody who I've seen. I remember this lady, who seems like a very nice lady, being in the Sport Clips years ago the last time I used them.
Okay.
So I know she's been cutting hair for a long time. I don't know if she ever cut mine, but I've seen her walking around the place. And I tell her, I'm like, look, I think it's like a 3 or a 3.5 on the side, something that starts with a 3. I'm not that upset about that. Just what I do is I just kind of cut it. And then I throw a little bit of like, moisturizer or lotion in a thing. And I kind of like move it forward like this. And that's it. It's your basic, I used to have a cool haircut in the late 90s. And this is what it turned into at 46 haircut.
I mean, the fact that you still have hair is good. So
exactly.
You're doing better than most of us.
I told her, I said, like right here at the very tip, it's a little thin. You don't really notice it unless you cut it all the way back real short. Yeah. So don't do that. She's like, okay, fine. So now she's cutting my hair, Mike. And I can't see her cut my hair. This is the affliction with wearing glasses.
Yes,
I'm blind.
I always wear my contacts when I get my hair cut.
Well, I do that, and then I get a little hair in my eye. And then I got to whip the contact out, and then I'm in pain, so I just go with the glasses. And I just trust the person, and that's my problem.
That's a mistake.
Because I'm blind.
Yeah.
And she keeps swiveling, and she's probably waiting for me to say no, but I can't see anything.
You're just blindly trusting her?
Can't see a thing.
Nope.
I'm blind as a bat without these things. Okay, so she finishes. She's done everything. She's done the back of my neck. She's done around my ears. She's done the whole thing.
It's the best part, the back.
She spins me around. She goes, "What does it look? What do you like? Or how do you like it?" And I go, "Well, I can't see." So I take the glasses, I put them on, and my face must have been like, oh no. Like,
God, what happened?
And she saw the look. The problem that she had done, first off, she had taken my hair, and for some reason, me saying I go like this, she read it as a part down the middle of my hair that ran like this.
We're too old for parts
I was
down
like,
the middle of our hair.
What are you doing?
You gotta hide the giant forehead that's
right, so I immediately take my hair and I start like, I do this, and I'm like, it normally comes down like this, and the moment I do that, it's straight across, like somebody put a bowl over my head. Like straight across right above the eyebrows. So now I'm like, okay, I've gotten a bad haircut. It's that moment where you're like, I've gotten a bad haircut. Now how do I make it the least bad that it could be, right? So now I start describing it to her. I'm like, I would go a little bit shorter. Like if I put a little product in, kind of like a little bit of spike here in the front, I'll take that. Not ideal. It's not what my guy does, but it's we can live with that. So I'm describing it to her. I could tell at one point that she had realized it could not be fixed. Like she knew. When she went back to clean my neck a second time, and she'd already done it.
She was stalling.
She was stalling. Because she had tried to fix it, and she had looked at it, and she knew I couldn't see because I had taken my glasses off, and she was like, oh, this is not working. Like that's like I could the moment she went back the second time, I was like, well, that's it. This is going to be a bad one.
It's not good.
It's going to be.
I'm surprised you're not wearing a hat.
I brought one. I just wanted to put
just in
this
case.
on. Yeah, I wanted to put this on for the cameras.
Okay, there we go.
For the rest of the show.
Nice.
For the rest of the show.
Now nobody has to see your bad haircut.
Right. I mean, I had gotten so bushy that my hair had been was curling out here around my hat. I was like a monster.
Well, it's not a primary expense anymore getting a haircut.
Right. Well, I like going and doing it with somebody I know because I feel like I'm taking care of him. Like he's a small business owner. I'm a small business owner. I know all the people that are doing hairdressing. They're small business owners.
Sports clips aren't small business owners.
Well, she's making money. She's making money, but she really is working for them.
Yeah.
She's relying on her tip. Like I still tipped her.
Yeah.
And I felt
you have to. She did the work.
I know, but I felt stupid tipping her. I was like, well, I'm tipping you for really bad haircut. Then I'm going to have to go someplace else and get fixed.
Did you?
No, I wanted to bring it to the show. I was like, look, it did happen today. And I was like, well, now I know what the opening segment is.
Yeah.
That my hair's all screwed up.
I mean, I'm not even joking. When I walked in, I'm like, what's up with his hair? It's like the first thing I thought, I'm like, I'm not going to say anything.
I'm wearing a hat permanently.
Yep.
Like for the next couple of weeks, you will not see me with this hat off. I'm gonna get up in the morning
sleep with it,
and I'm gonna make eggs with my hat on. Like that's where I'm at right now. I am fortunate that I have hair. I shouldn't be bitching about it. I shouldn't be.
If they mess up my haircut, then I got to shave everything, and that's terrible.
One of the things that I should point out, the show will be 50% less funny because
80%
because Bill isn't here.
Yeah.
I don't know why he got so busy, but he isn't. You're here now.
I'm here. So
we did a solo show with just Bill.
Yep.
We have a solo show with you.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Bill's not here because we got some notes from our social media manager.
You got notes?
Yeah.
Good job, keep it up?
Well, she's putting the videos together now.
Okay.
And she uses a program to match up the studio audio with our lips. Mm-hmm. And get them into the camera, and then all of a sudden, it gets produced, it gets sent out, and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So most of the stuff we talked about was video quality. Mm-hmm. We talked about things that we need to kind of adjust, where the commercial ad should run, little things like that. But then she gave me notes for you guys, and I can't really do it without Bill here, so we're gonna have to save it for the next.
Bill swear less?
No, she wants us to swear more.
Oh, nice. That should be pretty easy.
She thinks that we'll get more of an edge. We've doubled our listenership or now viewership just by going to video.
We're up to 4.
No, we're way more than that, big guy.
Nice. That's good to hear.
Okay. So, I mean, but she's got notes. But the problem is that I can't do it with just you, I don't think.
Why not?
So we'll have to
Are they all notes all for Bill? Is that why?
Well, no, I mean, it's just one main note that she put in here that she thought was probably key to the show.
Why can't we have it if Bill's not here?
She wants the show to sound a little bit better, and she thought that there's this one main note, but we can't do it.
Why? Because I'm here, you're here, we're doing the show. We can do the note, right?
All right, fine. Okay, so the note that she gave me is, Mike needs to shut the fuck up. You see, this is why we can't do this.
What? Why do I gotta shut up?
She actually said.
Let me see it.
She says that you talk over Bill so much, and that's what she wants. She wants you to stop talking. And you see how that doesn't work because you need to be able to interact with me on the show. So we'll save this for when Bill is around, and then you understand what I'm saying? You can't shut up now. I need you for this show.
I'm trying to follow the notes.
This portion of Southside Pod brought to you by Tom Walsh, your Edward Jones financial advisor. He's local, experienced, down to earth, and a friend of this show. He actually helps me with my money, and he takes care of bills as well. Get to know you approach and a do the right thing attitude. That's what you're going to get from Tom. In times of financial uncertainty, how can you stay on track? You give him a call, 773-779-0023. Call somebody who is invested in your success and has been doing this for over 2 decades. Doesn't matter where you're at in life. Just starting out, getting to the end, somewhere in the middle. Stop in and see him on the corner of 111th and Kedzie. Tom Walsh, your Edward Jones financial advisor, and Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. Where did you tell me the story about what you did? Was it last night?
So
when the famous person walked in behind you?
Do I got to start all the way before that too? I went to the Cubs game yesterday.
Went to a Cubs game yesterday.
Yeah, went with my buddies, and it's a Friday game, so you don't leave right after the game. It's traffic. Traffic's gonna be bad, so you gotta.
You're such an old man.
You gotta go to the bar and let traffic die.
Yeah, so much traffic.
Gotta let traffic
terrible.
die, honey. Right. I gotta let traffic die.
Don't you have the money to just Uber wherever you want to now?
Yeah, but the other thing is like these guys I went with, like if you Uber, then like you're gonna drink way more than you want.
Okay, so you drive to keep yourself in check.
I volunteered to drive so I could have an excuse to drink less. With him. And then the one guy said, "Oh, I got to be home by 6 because my wife and some friends and I are going out to a show that was actually half a mile away from where we were." I'm like, "Okay, if you need to go home, we can go home." And then at like,
what show were they seeing?
They were going to go see Mark Maron at the Vic.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right. And then at like 5:15 rolls around. I'm like, all right. So if you got to get home by 6, we got to leave now. He's like, no, it's cool. I talked to my wife. I'm just going to meet them at the Vic. So they're going to tell me when they're on their way. So
all right. So now you're out.
So then
you're partying.
Yep.
And somebody gets an idea.
So yeah. So then that guy leaves at like 6:45 to go meet everybody. And one of the other guys is looking at his phone. We're at a bar right across the street from Wrigley Field. And he goes, "Hey, Matthew Sweet's playing at the Metro tonight."
I mean, it's the most random thing.
Mike,
and it's one of the most fun things about being in Chicago. Like, I once saw Living Color exactly that way. Out with friends, somebody said, "Hey, did you know Living Color is playing like 2 blocks away? I bet you we could still get tickets." And it's funny, artists like that, you could still get tickets that night to run over there and see them. Where was he playing
He was
at?
playing at the Metro.
That's exactly where I went to go see Living Color. And I was like, well, I've never seen Cult of Personality live. And then I only remembered about their song Glamour Boys when they played it. And that was about it. But I was like, how do you pass up seeing that, right? And so you're like, Matthew Sweet, I want to see Sick of Myself and Girlfriend.
So at first we're like, no,
that's
dude.
it too, right? He doesn't have anything else.
No, Angeline.
I don't even know what that song is.
If you heard it,
yeah, okay.
Listeners, go look that one up.
Sick of Myself was one of my favorite ones when I was a lovelorn teenager, and I had eyes for a girl, and I was too nervous to ask her out, and I would play Sick of Myself in my room and imagine that I had some sort of nerve to ask her out. Like that was my song.
Yep.
Okay.
So he's still trying to convince us to go. Me and the other guy don't want to. The other guy had started drinking water too.
Okay.
He was ready to be done.
Lame old men.
And then he's like, "Oh, come on. Look where we are. He's right there. It's fate. It's kismet. We should go."
Matthew Sweet.
He's like, there's tickets still available.
How much was Matthew Sweet?
I think we got the tickets for like $30
That's
each.
too much money for Matthew Sweet.
Well,
Last minute, you should have gotten that for $15 a person.
Well, it was actually sold out. We had to get them through StubHub.
Oh, okay. So you had to buy aftermarket tickets. Okay.
So he just buys them. I look at the other guy. I'm like, I guess we're going. I text my wife. We're going to see a band now.
I love that.
And so I go, all right, what's the other problem? I'm like, dude, we got all our stuff. We're in our Cubs gear. The guy who went to go to the Mark Maron show left all the stuff with us. I'm a dork. I have my scorebook, my scorecard from keeping score.
Yeah, you're suddenly a college kid with nowhere to put your stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I gonna do? And he goes, oh, dude, my buddy lives right around the corner. I'll call him up and we could probably leave our stuff at his apartment. So he calls his buddy, and his buddy is in Minneapolis. So sorry, I'm not home, but hey, go to the G-Man Tavern and just tell them you know me, and they'll let you leave stuff there. and he tells me this. I'm like, that is not going to work.
Hold on. Go to this tavern, tell them you know me, drop all your crap there. It'll be safe.
Yes, that's what he said.
I would have said no to that.
And I'm like,
22-year-old me would have said, sounds like a plan. 46-year-old me probably goes, will my stuff be safe? Did you look at your stuff and think to yourself, if I lose this, it's okay?
I mean, it wasn't a big deal. It was a scorebook and like a hat and gloves and my reading glasses.
Right. So you were like, all this is replaceable.
I've
already dropped $30 on Matthew Sweet to see 2 or 3 songs. Why not?
So we go into the G-Man Tavern to do this. And like my buddy goes right up to the bar and like says it, and the woman just nods her head right away and takes all our stuff and sticks it underneath the bar and hands us a round of drinks.
You get drinks too?
We got drinks too. Because his friend apparently goes there so much.
Yeah, his friends got
that they love him. And maybe it just got put on his friend's bill. If so, I'm sorry. I think Steve.
Don't say you're sorry. He did it.
Yeah.
Let him do a courtesy.
Yeah, that's true.
At this age, let the person, if the guy wants the big time, if somebody wants the big time and they go, dude, go to this bar, mention my name. They'll take all your stuff.
Good point.
And then you get drinks.
Yeah.
If he wants the big time,
you're right.
Let him big
You're
time.
right. You're
it
right.
makes him feel good that he got the big time. That's how I see it. Now later on, you're out with him, buy him a drink.
Yeah.
But you don't owe him anything.
No, it was hilarious. So then we have our drink and then we go to the show and it's all people our age.
Yeah.
And then the guy I'm with goes, hey, I know that dude like 3 people in front of us. And he goes up to talk to him. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know that dude too. So then we're just running into people everywhere.
Okay.
Ooh, I missed a spot.
You missed a spot.
I missed
Keep
a spot.
going. Go back to where you missed.
Back to the G-Man Tavern. We're
Okay.
sitting there. I got my back to the door. My buddies are in front of me. We're talking. Some guy walks in. They go, hey, Tom. They go, hey, Tom. I'm like, Tom, who do you know? Tom. Oh, Chris is making a note.
I'm making a note for you.
Yeah.
Terrible at storytelling.
Yeah, terrible at storytelling.
Okay, who's Tom?
It was Tom Ricketts. Owner of the Cubs. Tom Ricketts walks in.
Hold on a second. I just want to point out that the whole point of the story was for you to get to the fact that Tom Ricketts, the owner of the Cubs, walked into the bar behind you.
Yeah.
And then later walked into Matthew's suite right behind you as well.
Yeah, he did both
you
those
partied
things.
with Tom Ricketts of the
He
Cubs.
was at the Cubs game, too.
Right.
We saw him at the Cubs game
Right.
walking through the crowd,
Right.
too.
You had basically the same day, except he's worth $1 billion or $3 billion.
He has at least
Right.
$3 billion more than
Right,
him.
exactly. He's definitely got at
He's
least
got
that
at
much.
least $3 billion,
But
and I've
Tom
got $0
Ricketts
billion.
was like, after this game, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to this tavern
Yep.
where you're getting your stuff and free drinks.
Yeah, he didn't-
Tom Ricketts is probably like, look at these guys.
Yeah.
They get to leave their stuff and they get free drinks. I'm Tom Ricketts. I don't get that.
I think he left his stuff at his office across the street, probably, but
Tom Ricketts
maybe
walks in
not.
with stuff. Hey, can I just leave this back here?
Yeah.
Okay. And
he
then,
probably left it in the dugout.
right.
you
And
know.
then he sees you at Matthew's suite.
Yeah.
Does he have similar seats at Matthew's suite?
It's the Metro, so it's just
So he's just in
open.
there.
So he's just in there. He's just in
Does
there
he
among
get
us common people.
recognized?
Oh yeah, totally.
Do you walk up to him and tell him things that you wish he would do with the team? Because I would do that to Jerry Reinsdorf.
If I wasn't the one driving,
Yeah.
and I had more beer than I had, I probably would have done that.
See, like if I got an opportunity with the owner of my favorite sports team, because I know the Cubs are your favorite team. Okay, the White Sox are mine.
yeah,
If I had any opportunity to say anything to Jerry Reinsdorf, I wouldn't pass it up sober or intoxicated. I would be up there and I would say it. He wouldn't care, but I would say it.
I'm at the point where I would say something to Jerry Reinsdorf.
Right? But I mean, like, you had a golden opportunity there. It didn't run through your mind. Something that you'd like to say to him. You need to spend more money on this, or you need to sign so-and-so, or you need to fire so-and-so. That didn't run through your mind.
Stop being a cheap ass.
Right, like you didn't. I mean, all you had to do was do that. You could have walked up to him. Think about it. You could have walked up with a drink, handed it to Tom Ricketts, and said, I wanted to buy you a beer because you seem to be poor. Whoa. Like you could have nailed him. I bought you this beer, Tom, and while he's saying thank you, be like, because you have shallow pockets. You can't spend properly on a team, so I figure you're out of money. Like, just zing him right there as you hand him the beer.
And then be like, and this cost half as much as the beer I
Right.
bought 4 hours ago in your stadium.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then somebody that's in his entourage hits you in the back of the head. They drag you in the alley, and
Probably.
you're not
And
seeing...
then I'm not allowed to go into Wrigley Field ever again.
But it's worth it. It's worth it, Mike.
And like that's not at the ballpark. So I think you could do it in a public
I
setting
do it
like
at the
that.
ballpark.
It's cooler.
I do it anywhere. I be shameless.
Yeah, Jerry Reinsdorf doesn't.
He doesn't leave his tower.
Doesn't leave the box
He
to
hides.
come, yeah.
He hides someplace.
Yeah,
He's in
Tom
a cave.
at least comes out and
Jerry Reinsdorf's in a cave someplace right
Yeah.
now. We're laying in his casket until the sun completely comes down. Then he'll come out and feast on the young.
hey, somebody's got it right.
Southside Pod listeners, if you're looking for something to do and you like wine, Spoken Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie, an incredible array of wines, an amazing menu as well. The wines from all over the world, and you can get them in any kind of portion that you'd like. You can try out new ones every time you go in there because they're constantly rotating in new items. A 21 and over establishment, really cool, like a hotel lounge inside of that establishment. And then if you find something you like, you go to the bottle shop, you pick out that wine, you take it home. I don't know how you can't enjoy yourself at Spoken Vine, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. See more at spokenvinewines.com. Sitting down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar, we have a guest again from Gaelic Park. We've been getting a lot of Gaelic Park guests over the last couple of months. But I love Gaelic Park. And as a Southside institution, there's so much going on there. I'm going to a murder mystery dinner in a couple of weeks. I still don't know who my +1 is for it, but they gave me 2 tickets. So I guess I have to figure all of that out. And Maggie Murphy is down here with me. How are you, Maggie?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me, Chris. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Well, thanks for coming by. So we have a play performance coming up here in April, separate from the murder mystery thing.
That is correct.
So, and is there a night where they overlap with each other?
There is.
So there's a possibility I could walk into a completely different performance. There could be a real murder, and I could think I'm part of a murder mystery. Like, this is how I'm kind of piecing this together.
Well, there's no murders and anyone could rob a bank.
Okay, but what if there's a murder and I think that I'm at the murder mystery and I'm at your performance? That's all I'm saying.
Well, then maybe you're not paying attention to all the clues.
Okay, so How to Rob a Bank, which will be the play that you guys are putting on for the next couple of weeks. Tell me a little bit about this one. What's the background? It looks like you do everything. You can just go and see it. You can go and have the access to the pub, and you get some stuff. You can go and you can have buffet dinner. So it looks like it's like one of those things. Depending on how you want to plan out your evening, there's something there for you. Tell me about this.
This is correct. So we've struggled also with the title because it's actually anyone could rob a bank.
Anyone could rob a bank.
Right. And it's a play by Thomas Coffey, and it's set in the 1960s in Ireland. And I'm going to say it preempted the whole, we had a conversation and suddenly your phone's picking up stuff and you're getting ads. The story is there's these three lads and they're sitting around the house talking about a bank robbery that occurred. And one ingenious idea says, anyone could do this. And he proceeds to describe the steps that you could take to rob a bank. And then lo and behold, it happens.
And now the question is whether or not that person did it or somebody who heard the story.
Exactly. And as they would say in Ireland, as my parents would say, 'tis true for you, Chris.
So it's funny that you're talking about this. Bill has been down here on this program before we had video. And maybe I'll throw the audio somewhere in this episode of it, but he told a story as a fireman, when he first started about this. They went to a bank for somebody that was injured and the person was hurt and they were taking care of them. And then they were like, can you take these bags out to my car? And he was like, they were the heaviest bags. And I am convinced, we were all got back on the truck. We're like, did we just rob a bank? Like, did the person pretend they were injured so we'd walk out with all the cash? Now that wasn't true, or at least he never heard of it, but he remembered saying what a weird thing. And I think people are always looking at a bank. They're always standing in the middle of a bank. Not so much now because they look like lobbies to hotels as much as they used to look like banks where you would see the safe and they'd be standing there behind the bars or they'd be high up looking down on you at the tellers and stuff like that. But you do sit there and you think to yourself, could I pull this off? Do the cameras have me when I'm standing over here? Not that you would.
Right.
I clearly would because I think about that. Do you think about that?
No. I worked at a bank right out of high school. Wasn't a good look for me. Yeah. It was very fun, and you have to remember, this was just out of high school, and it was a neighborhood bank, so it was interesting to say the least.
I always felt during COVID that was the time to rob a bank. Everybody's wearing a mask. Now's the time to go make your move. Didn't do it. Regret that I didn't do it, but it seems like that would have been the time to do it.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe during COVID because nobody wanted to touch any money. Right. So you might have been onto something there.
You kind of walk in, you're like, I'd like to take this money off your hands. You start coughing. You're under your mask. They're panicking. They're throwing money across to you. I feel like you could pull it off then. That was the time to rob a bank. Now, this performance by the Gaelic Park Players, which I believe you do several shows a year, right? This group?
We do a spring production and a fall production, and then we also host the performing arts stage during the Irish Fest.
Okay. So this kicks off on April 12th.
Correct. Friday evening.
So you got April 12th, 13th, and 14th the first weekend. You've got the 19th, 20th, and 21st the next weekend.
That is correct.
The weekend after that is senior prom in this house.
Oh.
I'm staying out of the way.
Whoa, exciting.
I'm staying out of the way. Well, 18-year-old daughter. She's got her dress. She's got her date. The date's nervous when he's around me.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Right?
Honest to goodness, when there's a boy who's not nervous around me who wants to take my daughter out, I immediately think there's something wrong with him.
There you go. There's your suspicion.
He should be nervous. I don't care if he's 6'4".
Oh,
he should have nerves when he meets the dad.
Right.
So I like this kid. Mm-hmm. All right. But that's coming the weekend after. But the 2 weekends beforehand, the 12th, 13th, and 14th, 19th, 20th, and 21st, we have Anyone Could Rob a Bank over at Gaelic Park here on the South Side. And it looks like 8 p.m. shows on Fridays and Saturdays, 3 in the afternoon on Sundays, only $15 to see the show.
That is correct.
Is this all ages? Is this adult?
All ages.
Okay.
Yeah. If anybody wants to, if they could sit in the seat and follow along, you're more than welcome.
Comedy or drama?
More comedy.
More comedy.
Yes.
All right. So we got a comedy. Mm-hmm. All ages can do it. And then it looks like if you want to add on to the theater-only tickets, you can, for $35, get into the theater and get a pub dinner combo that is on Friday or Saturday. For $45 on Sunday, there's a buffet dinner combo along with your theater ticket. So you're feeding people there as well.
Well, right. I mean, what a great opportunity to go out and have dinner and a show without breaking the bank. And then the Sunday buffet typically works out if you have a family or you want to get people together.
Yeah.
For example, the Sunday is my birthday, so we're going to...
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
That's exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
Many get denied the opportunity. So we're going to have the play in the afternoon on Sunday and then the buffet dinner. It's kind of like going to a wedding without the bride and groom and, no big gift to go with it. So Gaelic Park does a great job. Their food is fabulous, and 9 times out of 10, they'll have some sort of entertainment. So the Sundays are a great evening. But if you want to feel like you're in Ireland and have some fish and chips at the pub on Friday or Saturday and then go see the show, that fits the profile as well.
I want to say, I've only heard rumor, but you know about this thing with the house, right? They gave away the house.
Yeah.
You're aware of this whole thing.
Sure.
I want to say what Mount Greenwood police officer wanted?
A retired, yeah, I
Retired
understand that.
Retired police
Yeah.
officer wanted.
I'm not sure. I mean, all the stories can go one
Whatever
way or the
it was,
other.
if it was a
but
police, I'm like, good for him.
good man yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I
yes.
came from a cop family. I'm like,
Yeah.
good for that guy. He got
That's
in there.
right.
Do you know if he's taking the house or if he's taking the money? Have you heard anything now that
Oh,
you're
I
over
have
there?
not.
You haven't heard anything?
No.
All right,
and
I'm
if you're
curious.
typically Irish, you'll be very cagey and keep that information to yourself.
Like to me, like I'm disappointed it wasn't me. But then I sit there and I want, everybody wants to know, right? Like I'm sure everybody wants to know, like, well, what did he do?
That's
what did
right.
he do? Did he keep the house? Did he take the
Right.
cash? Has he
Right.
run off someplace? Like
Yeah.
what is he? What's the plan there? And I would imagine that gets kept close to the vest. And you have so many events going on over there.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I think is crazy.
Yeah.
That happened. There's all these things that happened during the month of March for St. Patrick's Day. Like I said, you got a murder mystery dinner that you're doing. I've never done one of those. It's one of those things I've always wanted to do. They reached out to me and they said, hey, for having all the people on from Gaelic Park on the show, do you want to go to one of these performances? And no offense to your performance, I was like, murder mystery. I'm diving into
Oh,
that.
take it.
I was diving into
They
that, right?
did,
I might come to your thing, though, too, now, because to me, robbing a bank has always been one of those things that I'm intrigued by.
Very good then.
Yeah.
You can make room on your schedule for both of them. The Gaelic Park had done Death to the 80s last year, I think it was. And it was along the same lines of murder mystery. And it was great fun. I mean, honestly, what a great night as well.
Awesome. Well, once again, Gaelic Park is at 6119 West 147th Street out in Oak Forest. You can learn more about this at GaelicParkPlayers.org. Is that where they get tickets as well in advance?
That'll flip you over to the Gaelic Park. I would call it almost like the parent website, and you can order tickets online. Absolutely, yep.
Order your tickets online, and then performances again kick off on April 12th, so coming up here, a couple days.
That's right. Shout out to all of our actors and our director, Julie Zablekis.
Are you acting?
I'm right now. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No,
No.
I'm not in it.
Yeah, I'm pretending I enjoy this podcast, Chris.
Well, you know what? I've been told I have a face for radio, so I'm doing quite well.
If you like hot sauce, and I like hot sauce, the only hot sauce that we have here at the 9 Foot Homemade Oak Bar is sidsauce.net. Go to sidsauce.net and get yourself some hot sauce. They're right here on the south side. They grow the peppers in backyards around the south side. They develop the sauces right here on the south side. Many of you get the sauce delivered to your door for free. And again, it's the only hot sauce we have here at the 9 Foot Homemade Oak Bar where Southside Pod is filmed and recorded. Check them out again at sidsauce.net. Tell us about how you helped somebody rob a bank.
A major bank.
I'm pretty sure that I helped a woman rob a bank.
Well, how did you do that?
I'm a first responder, and a woman called 911.
Right.
Maybe they spoke to you. I don't know.
Could have.
Possible.
If they did, they were put on hold and they had to listen to the broadcast basement.
I guess they weigh.
You helped too.
They weigh gold bars and silver bars with a big scale, and they have like lead or weights to counterbalance it. And she dropped one of these like 100-pound weights on her toe and just absolutely destroyed her foot.
Okay.
So she's sitting in the vault. Like I had to go through like 9 security gates to get through there, and people are doing thumbprints and eye scans, and it was like
DNA
Terminator
samples.
2 type stuff, Skynet stuff.
You got to get a kidney stone
So we
test.
finally get into this vault, and we're talking, there's money
Right.
and gold.
Right.
And this lady's sitting there, and we
You're
get
like,
her
how do I get my hands on this?
We get her in we call it a stair chair. It's like a temporary wheelchair to get her out to the ambulance. And she goes, oh, don't forget my bags. She goes, get my coat and my bags. So we give her her coat, and I look at her bags, and there are 2 duffel bags.
Really heavy.
And these things had to weigh 85 to 100 pounds apiece.
Well, okay.
And I went to just go grab them. I'm like, okay, I'll grab your bags. I'm like, huh? I'm like,
Oh, it's like that movie Inside Man.
Right.
Like
So,
she's
I
robbing
didn't say
the bank.
I didn't say anything.
Great movie, yeah.
We walked out of the security and then we get into the ambulance and I looked right at her and I go, "We didn't just help you rob that bank, did we? Like, what do you have in here?" I wanted some gold.
Yeah, you're like, if we did, I just want 10%.
Give me
Right.
the cut.
Yeah, just give me a cut.
One
just give me
gold
my
bar.
piece. Yeah,
That's
just
all
give
I
me.
want.
Yeah, that'd be a great wedding present.
She just laughed.
Did
She
you get
laughed.
one?
She
You
went,
didn't get one.
Yeah,
So-
she
You
robbed the bank.
Bill. You robbed a bank,
crime.
Bill. You robbed a bank, Bill.
right out the front door.
You were
She
the
didn't
one
even
who
have
carried
toes
it
to
out.
begin with.
Blew my mind.
It's the South Side! It's the South Side! It's the South Side Pod! Thanks for listening! Thanks for tuning in to the South Side Pod! Y'all come back now, you hear?